know how to control your narrative, because if you don't control it, somebody else will.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have
Absolutely.
your own companies and set, because the main thing we have to have, if you, to the people who want to say, hey, let's uplift our people, you have to have money. And you have to invest in your people. If you say you want to really uplift your people, you have to invest in your people. Bottom line, if you don't invest in your people, and if you don't have the money, nothing will ever get done. Hey, Dre, this.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the 2.5 LLCs podcast. My name is Dre, and I'm one of your hosts this evening, and also got with me Antwon across the room. And
it's your homie, the one and only. I go by Flyboy Macaroni.
Yeah, we got Antwon's brother, aka Caleb, on the show tonight. And since he's your brother, go ahead and you can ask the first question after we do our lucrative tip of the day. Listen, whoever you work with, if you don't price it right, they will not appreciate your work. No matter what you do, no matter how great you are, if you don't price it right, unless you know you're doing it for a passion project or you're doing it for a reference or practice, you will not get appreciated for your services. I'm not saying you gotta charge a ridiculous amount, but throw it out there anyway, see if they'll bite on it, because you never know. Some people may actually bite on that offer, but that's when you know they're serious about it.
To sum it up, price it to your liking, not theirs.
Wise words.
It's a simple way to put it. Price to your liking, not theirs.
Yeah.
I guess the next step is for you to tell the American people a little bit about yourself. Where you grew up or where we grew up. What drives you and what keeps you going.
All right, so first of all, my name is Caleb Carter. I come out of Henderson, North Carolina. What was the question you asked?
What inspires you? What keeps you going?
All right, so what really initially inspired me was I was trying to figure out a way to not have to look for payment from another person. So I decided I wanted to take a step in investing in myself, which kind of happened quickly for me. It was like a 2-week span where I was like, man, I could start making shirts, and I won't have to go get no part-time job. I could make shirts, and I can make my income, my second income that way. But really the goal in all of this is to make money to invest in another business, because my ultimate goal would be to retire my daddy.
So is that who inspires you the most?
Yep.
Okay. You've experienced some success or a lot of success with your t-shirt so far.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure you had a time where you may have questioned why, or maybe it wasn't selling as much as you wanted to. Did you reconsider? Have you considered rebranding or anything?
All the time. Like Nipsey said, I went through all the emotions, with starting this brand, just finding the price and, what would people pay for a shirt that I made. It's a lot of times where I was like, man, I don't want to be limited to prosperity, but I try to think like, what could I be? But ultimately what I want to be is prosperous. So there's no need to change the name. So yeah, that's pretty much that with that business.
Okay.
I want to talk about, because recently I've gotten to making shirts and clothes.
See, it's nice.
Appreciate it. What's the process of you making your shirts?
What you mean? Like, what do I?
Your creative process.
My creative process is honestly just, I don't want to be the same as nobody else. I see a lot of like angel shirts with the dollar signs, and not the dollar signs, the money bags and things like that, which is cool and everything. I'm not knocking anybody's business, but what really helps me continue to walk into the creative mindset I do is just posting my designs online, and then I get people to be like, man, I like your designs, they different, especially, and I didn't even bring this shirt, it's in my other bag in the other car, but It's the kid that looks like me, but he has the same bandana as the bear right there, but it says "Walk by Faith" on his face. So I just like when people tune into my shirts, be like, man, it's different. I like your designs. It's creative.
What about criticism? Do you accept? Is criticism? Of course, it's a part of it, but
It's part of it.
what does criticism do for you?
It lets me know what people not trying to wear. So I just know not to produce that.
You had a previous name for your brand
Mm-hmm.
that your brother showed me,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to change it.
Mm-hmm.
How was that process of having to literally rebrand your whole design?
I think it wasn't as hard as you might imagine. It wasn't what people wanted, so I decided to change it to something that people would want. That's really it. I think a lot of times in life people make things more complicated than it should be. So just rebrand and refocus.
Do you have any inspirations as far as designers or
Me.
okay?
Yeah, me. But I can say somebody who kind of was trying to help me, but I necessarily didn't follow his route. I would give a shout out to a clothing brand called Born Hustler. It's owned by my boy Lionel. He kind of gave me some pointers at first, but I didn't necessarily follow his footstep. But yeah.
Okay.
So outside of printing T-shirts, who are you?
A family man. You know that for a fact. I'm a family man. I come to all events. I always try to bring everybody together. Again, collective.
Gotta leave here and go to one.
Yep, gotta leave here and go to a birthday dinner as we speak. So I'm just a family man, family oriented, and I'm just pushing. I want to be the one to push us to the next level, or I want to be the one helping push us to the next level, because we all can do it.
What would you say is your biggest challenge so far?
My biggest challenge is myself. Sometimes I overthink on my own part, even when I know that it's like I'm producing something that people actually like. But I tend to overthink on my part. Like it even took me a long time to go public with these shirts. I was selling out in my close friends, but as far as announcing it publicly, I was just like kind of hesitant. But again, that ties into just walking by faith. You just gonna see what comes of it, and then you just roll with it from there.
What would be some advice to anybody that's trying to get into doing something like this?
Do it. Simple. Just do it. That's the only advice I can give you, is do it. Because if you sit around thinking about it too much, it's not gonna happen. Do it.
Man, I know that too well.
Just do it.
Yeah. So as far as the business part of selling your brand, how do you promote and market your clothes?
I'm starting off with a few ambassadors. And my ambassadors are people who have their own business. So I work with them. They work with me, and as they promote, I promote them. So that's the marketing part of it, I would say.
How did you figure out and scale your marketing and promotion to these types of people and your market to how to distribute and sell your shirts?
It ties back into what I said. What type of people do I want to bring? Is not people who are leeching. It's people who actually going for their goals and stuff. So if I see them going for their goals, I know that I can trust them in a sense. They'll want to see me successful the same way I want to see them successful.
Do you have a certain pitch you like to say to people?
What you mean as far as pitch?
If you was walking up the street and you had that shirt in your hand, how would you, I guess, present and get this person to stop and consider buying your shirt over other shirts?
My pitch would be, we all want to be prosperous in this life. The designs is just something that's catchy. It does catch a lot of attention, especially that bear design. But once I get to explain it, they definitely a lot of the time, a lot of people are interested in purchasing a shirt. So I would say that's it.
One thing I'm noticing clothing and branding and marketing is when you have a element that appeals to what people align or like a lot, such as animals or stuff for kids that's friendly, those move a lot more or gain a lot more attention than certain designs that just have words or phrases or designs people may not recognize because, in my opinion anyway, you could say more on this, that it's something familiar and it seems like anybody can wear it.
The bear. Yep. Okay. That's my top seller right there.
Wow.
My top seller.
That's crazy. What's your least selling right now?
My least selling probably, I don't know, a lot of females like that shirt. My least selling probably would be the one with the raccoon on it.
Okay.
Probably would be. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess that's just the least selling one. But it has a meaning behind it too.
What's the meaning?
It's a grand bandit. I believe raccoons are the ultimate opportunists, so they go after anything that they want. That's why I decided to use them on my shirt.
That's fire.
Deeper than a picture. Yeah, it's fire. Deeper than a picture.
So we know you just don't sell clothes. We know you're more than somebody that sells and makes clothing. Are you into sports?
Not as much as my brothers, but I can say I'm a Ja Morant fan.
Why?
I believe I don't know, I just like his flashy style of playing. You know, not necessarily the cockiness, but I feel like he knows that, you know, it's his time. It's his time to take over, and I believe it's his time to take over.
Okay, we'll see if he lasts.
Yeah, we'll see.
Reason I say that because a lot of people that play like that, they may not last long because they may not have the best foundations. They're always trying to have the highlight play. Look, people like him, Derrick Rose. They always want to have the highlight play, but they may not have the best foundation to withstand that. And over time, your body just going to wear down anyway. So it gets to a point where, all right, he's going to be this good, but for how long? The body's going to be like, yo, all right, time to wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
We need to relax.
He has the potential to be another Westbrook. Athletic, jump out of the gym. If you don't develop a jump shot, he's going to be another Westbrook.
Yikes.
I believe with the right guidance, he could go pretty far.
He could be another Westbrook.
Man. So what were your favorite things to do growing up?
My favorite things to do, honestly, anything dealing with playing with my hands. I know that sounds crazy, but I would say I used to do things like catch bugs in the yard. I used to like doing that. I used to like helping my daddy build shelves and stuff like that. I really got heavy into video editing. I'm not even sure what age, but I think that's probably my favorite thing to do. Just the ability to create a visual story and people be able to follow it and, you know, just love what comes of it. It's definitely top tier for me.
Do you have a favorite project you've edited so far?
Yep, I do. I created a online dating show on IGTV, and it was pretty good. It was pretty funny. You know, the people that I went to school with really enjoyed it because they knew the two people who were on there. And my co-host didn't. She kind of dropped out. You know, she started doing her own thing, so we weren't able to bring it back. But I am bringing it back. I want to say the beginning of October with a new side co-host. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
What's the name of the show?
It's called God, I can't even remember. Can't even remember having a little brain fart right now. It's called Surprise Takeout. I don't know how I forgot. It's called Surprise Takeout. You know, bringing two strangers together and, you know, seeing who it is and getting to date each other and things like that. Surprise takeout.
What made you want to create a dating show?
Create a dating show. I'm just a creative, and just being. I think at the time I was working from home, so it gets boring working for somebody else when you're a creative. You have this urge to create. In simple terms, you have this urge to create. You don't like being bound to somebody else's time. You really like your own time being spent doing something that you love.
Okay.
Plus, dating, people like that. They really want you to see somebody get turned down more than for them to get accepted.
Drama sales and sex sales in TV.
So they want to really see somebody get turned down more than it growing to be something else.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, the 3 E's: education, entertainment, erotica. If you got one of those in or all 3 of them, if you're lucky, that's what you use to brand and market yourself right there.
I liked it.
3 E's.
I liked it.
Entertainment,
education, erotica. 3 E's. Women use that last one a lot. And why shouldn't they? I charge the game. I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is. I scroll up, I look every now and then, I just keep moving. So.
Yep, sex sale.
So, as far as your brand, as far as expanding, I should say, do you have T-shirts, you have hats? Do you eventually think you'll move into dresses or shorts? Or
Speaking too soon, man. The fall collection ain't even dropped yet. So, I'm moving into sweatsuits and anything that anybody wants. I would be willing to put a print on.
All right. As far as if you had to give anybody some advice on what you've done and how you became who you became, what's the biggest thing you've learned in life that made you become who you
are? Focus on what's important. Not getting too deep, but a lot of times you get tied into people who fade away and things like that, but ultimately you have to put yourself first. So focus on yourself and go after what you want.
I want to ask you more about film because that's not something anybody can just walk into. I know I got into it real late. You seem like you started young, I assume. Are you a film junkie or you just got into it and you just want to do it?
I always had the ability to storytell just from a creative mind. So just being able to write it on paper and develop it into a videos or a film is just become a passion of mine.
When was the first time you ever used the camera to record anything?
I used to film, what was it, at church?
Told you. Everything started at church.
I used to film at church.
Man.
Yeah, I think I filmed a wedding or filmed a service or something, but church.
How old was you?
I don't even think I was a teenager. I think I was like...
You was young, touching soundboards and stuff like
9, 10-ish.
So you pretty much just grew up around what you wanted to do.
Yep.
That's dope because people that aren't maybe on this path, they don't grow up exactly doing this. I didn't even grow up doing this technically because I grew up trying to want to hoop. Was I the greatest? No, not at all. I have footage to prove it.
I can show it to you.
It is what it is. I do what I can, but I didn't have the development and foundation to become the greatest I thought I wanted to be, because you could think you want to be great, but you don't know the proper mindset. You don't know the proper upbringing, the proper coaching, because you have to have people around you that want to invest in that. My parents didn't want to invest in that. They wanted me to do other things such as tech stuff for computers. I didn't do that until way later, but they always wanted me to do something that wasn't physical. Especially my dad, especially didn't want me to. He always said, I don't want you to use your mind to make your money. I don't want you to use your body to make your money. I want you to use your mind to make your money. That was something that I didn't understand when I was younger, but now I get it.
That makes sense too. Use your mind to make money.
Because physical, that can be taken away from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your brain technically can too, but it's not as probable as your body breaking down or you getting injured severely, possibly.
And then what?
Exactly. And then what? Because with a mind that you know a lot of things, people, cultures, and facets, there's way more you can do than just, oh, I'm athletic. I'm athletic. What sport do you play? You only play one sport? All right, cool.
Yep.
You might can get drafted. You might can go professional. You might can make some money on the side doing pro-ams or other leagues and such, semi-pros, but how long are you going to be able to use that? What else do? You can't be an athlete forever.
You sure can't. You sure can't.
The lifespan of an athlete is what? It's 3 years in football, and basketball I think is around the same amount of time. About 3 years or so.
Yeah, but it all depends on the mindset of the person. Because if you don't have a good mindset, no matter how great you are, you won't last. You have to, I've learned and heard recently that people can be around you if you're not the greatest or something. You can be in spots that other people that are greater than you can because you're just a cool person. You have to just know the right people and know the right places and environments to get into to become and be in that environment. Your skills are going to grow over time because that's just life. Everybody doesn't develop the same way. And so being with around certain people in certain environments, you may or may not be able to get there just because you're a good person. Have you ever grew up around people that you had to unfortunately like push off to the side because you notice y'all just going two different directions?
I've always been not necessarily a friendly person, but I've always been a person that, could communicate with anybody. I don't think I necessarily ever had to push somebody away. I just think losing people kind of made me gain the focus I have. If that makes sense.
Losing people in what way?
Oh, I done lost so many friends that then got killed. Just friends that's doing their own thing in life. When people find their direction, if they don't see you beneficial to them, they'll quickly walk away. So that's why I say you have to really focus on yourself. Because I mean, if I lose this person tomorrow, I have to still be able to chase my own dream. Yeah.
Okay.
That goes for anything: friendships, relationship, family.
Speaking of that, did you have any family that may not have supported what you tried to do?
No.
Reason I asked that because when people go on a journey of entrepreneurship, even some people in their own family may be like, "Oh, the little clothing brand that you have, or the little business you got." They just throw little slights at you. That's the only reason why I asked that.
No, I don't think I've ever had a family member say that, but my daddy would always tell me to keep a plan B. Like with this clothing brand, I don't have health or dental insurance. Keep something not necessarily keep it, but have something in the meantime where I could use those benefits where I can't get those benefits from this clothing brand right now.
A word or a phrase that makes you great.
Go ahead. We can get
A
right into
word or a phrase that makes me great?
Yes.
A word or a phrase that makes me great? Well, it would have to be the phrase that I put on my shirts would be walk by faith. Just got to jump out there sometimes and, see what happens. Don't be scared of nothing. Just go. Just go for
it. Okay.
I've been hearing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Well, people I've been around and I've been talking to and places I've been, a lot of people have been echoing that sentiment, not saying it verbatim, but in actions they've done. Moving to LA, our new intern we got coming from Arizona and Maine.
Yeah, my thing is life is too short. You got to enjoy it while you're here. If something don't work out, jump to the next thing. But be smart about it. So just walk by faith. Really, that's really my go-to right there.
So hit him with a knockout punch right here. Go ahead and knock him out. What is your brand?
My brand, what you want, like the name?
No, your brand is when people basically it's kind of like an overall evaluation of what you bring to the table. When they purchase a prosperity shirt or when they buy something from you, what can they really expect? What would make them want to buy your shirt over the guy standing next to you? What is your specialty? What makes you unique?
Okay. What makes me unique is my shirts bring together a sense of community. That's why it's called the Prosperity Brand Collective. I believe that a lot of things in this world could be better if a lot of people would work together. I just believe a lot of us could be successful if we work together. That's really the main goal of this shirt. So when you purchase a shirt from me, you kind of just joining a community of people who are wishing to be successful together, or you have that same mindset of me.
Fair enough. Right.
All right.
All right. So
hold on, before we even get into the show, I want to address the point of coming together. Now, I have my thoughts on this phrase. I hear a lot of people say it. I hear a lot about it. But I have my thoughts on it, right?
It's the Godfather. He gonna get deep.
Okay, let's do it.
Because a lot of people like to say coming together. I'm not saying you don't live by that phrase, but I'm just saying in general what I see on the internet and out in the world. A lot of people say they want to come together, but the quality of people do you want to come together? And do you really stand by what you're saying? Because a lot of people like to say words and phrases, but they don't stand by them. They just say to get attention, to get noticed, to want to be involved in things that they really don't appreciate or want to support. But they just want to say that to draw people in.
No, it's not an act for me. That's why I got it right there on that shirt. It's not an act. It's on the shirt.
All right. That's what's up.
I'm really what I say I am.
So let me ask you this. What kind of people do you want to come together? I mean, I don't mean as far as specific race but I mean this mindset. What kind of mindsets are you talking about when you say come together?
I would say goal-driven people. I don't want people who want to leech or think that things should be handed out to them. I would say people who go after it.
2.5 LLCs podcast. This is the conclusion. If you like, you will get better. Like the video. Once again, stop playing with yourself. And we have Antwon here. We got Caleb here. And Dre's here. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow at 212 LLCs SPOD on Instagram. 2.5 LLCs podcast on all podcasting platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcasts. We are there. And if you want merch, hit us up in the DM. We got you. Our regular shirts are $25. Custom shirts are $50. That's the prices. And you can hit me up on Instagram at retrod.r.e. And you can hit up Antwon
at Carterboy2521.
And you can contact our guest
at Caleb M. Carter 4. On Instagram.
That's your only page. Your clothing brand has
my page. Clothing brand is _prosperity brand _collective. Highly active on there.
Okay.
Let's get it in.
All right. Until next time, this is the conclusion of the 2.5 LLCs podcast. Once again, once you like the video, you will become greater. Until next time, peace.